Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to break down the exact 10-step blueprint to becoming a millionaire. We are taking the core source material and building a complete step-by-step roadmap here. We're going from financial dreamer to actual financial architect. And look, there is no fake guru fluff here, I promise. Just a practical, tested system that actually works. So, let's jump right in.
I want you to try something for a second. Imagine waking up tomorrow, pulling out your phone, checking your bank account, and seeing exactly £1 million just sitting there, right? Sounds completely impossible. I totally get it. To most of us, looking at a number like that feels like, well, pure fantasy. Because, we're conditioned from day one to think that real wealth is locked securely behind closed doors, reserved only for other people who just somehow got lucky.
But man, the data completely shatters that myth we've all been sold. I mean, people generally think millionaires are just born lucky, or they have crazy rich parents, or they won the lottery. But the reality? It is profoundly different. Over 80% of millionaires are actually entirely self-made. 80%. They weren't born rich. They didn't stumble into some massive inheritance. They literally just followed a highly structured system, focusing on long-term actions instead of falling for some get-rich-quick scheme.
To keep things simple and avoid overwhelm, we've logically organized this whole 10-step journey into 4 distinct phases of wealth building: the foundation, the earning engine, the wealth multipliers, and finally, the long game.
Let's kick things off right at the beginning with Phase 1, the foundation. This phase is all about internal shifts, rewiring how your brain works, and picking up the absolute baseline skills you need for the journey.
The absolute first thing we've got to tackle is your mindset. Because honestly, there is this massive contrast between how the rich and the poor view money. A poor mindset usually looks at finances defensively, right? It asks, okay, how can I save more money? But a rich mindset looks at that exact same situation and goes on the offensive. It asks, how can I make more money? See the difference? Your income is always going to follow your thinking. You've got to stop chasing comfort and start chasing growth. Before you even think about throwing $1 into the stock market, you really have to understand that the single greatest investment you will ever make is in yourself. Buy the books, take the courses, and buy back your time so you can actually learn how to create massive value.
And that leads us perfectly into the concept of learning a high-income skill. Look, a normal 9-to-5 day job gives you a fixed salary, which is, by definition, capped. But a high-income skill, that gives you literally unlimited earning potential. Whether it's video editing, copywriting, AI automation, or high-ticket sales, you just have to escape that fixed salary trap. Now, here is the secret. Do not try to be a jack of all trades. Seriously, don't try to learn 5 things at once. Instead, pick just one of these high-demand skills and lock yourself in for the next 6 to 12 months until you are absolutely incredible at that specific thing.
You have to become intensely valuable to the marketplace first, because at the end of the day, skills pay the bills. I really want that phrase to anchor in your mind. Becoming extremely proficient at one very specific, high-demand skill is literally the bedrock of your future wealth.
All right, with those skills firmly in place, we enter Phase 2, the earning engine. This is where we shift from the internal stuff to taking aggressive external action, really ramping up your cash flow and ruthlessly managing what you spend.
Okay, hard truth time. A lot of people hate hearing this, but you absolutely cannot save your way to millions. I mean, skipping your morning coffee is fine and all, but there is a mathematical limit to how much you can cut your expenses. Your earning potential, on the other hand, is theoretically infinite. Income has to come first. If you're only bringing in a little bit each month, your #1 mission is to aggressively focus on doubling or tripling that income before you even stress about how to invest it. Start freelancing, land a high-paying remote job, launch a side hustle. You've got to transform yourself into a massive value generator.
Now, as that income starts to climb, we hit a danger zone where so many people crash and burn. It's a phenomenon called lifestyle creep. It's human nature, right? You make more money, so you instantly inflate your lifestyle. You get a raise, you go buy a fancier car. You land a huge client, you suddenly need expensive designer clothes. But listen, true wealth is found entirely in the gap between what you earn and what you spend. It's not about how much you make. It is 100% about how much you keep. You have to live below your means. Keeping your income high while keeping your expenses super simple creates this massive financial gap. So when your income goes up, do not let your expenses rise right alongside it. Guard that gap with your life.
Building on that, the next major move is creating multiple income streams. Have you ever noticed that millionaires literally never, ever rely on just one single source of income? It's just way too risky. Instead, they build a bunch of them. They might have their primary salary or a steady freelance gig, but then they stack it. They throw a YouTube channel on top, maybe create some digital products, and funnel cash into business investments. Why? Because if the economy takes a hit and your freelance work slows down, your digital product sales can keep you afloat. If one stream completely dries up, the others just keep flowing. You're basically building a fortress of financial resilience.
Okay, your engine is revving. The income streams are flowing. Let's move right into phase 3, the wealth multipliers. This is where we take that earning engine you've built and apply really powerful tools like long-term investing and personal branding to scale things exponentially.
Making money is really only half the game. Growing it is the rest. Think of this wealth-building timeline kind of like planting an oak tree. In year 1, you're literally just putting the seed in the dirt. It takes time. You have to invest consistently and think incredibly long-term. And this is the absolute magic of compound interest. Small, consistent investments made today, where you're continuously reinvesting those dividends year after year, begin to snowball. Compounding is mathematically staggering, but it needs time to do the heavy lifting. The earlier you plant that financial seed, the bigger the tree grows. Small sacrifices today literally turn into massive, life-changing wealth by year 20.
Another huge modern multiplier is building your personal brand. In today's digital economy, attention is money, period. Building a personal brand on platforms like YouTube or LinkedIn turns your reputation into a living, working asset. And the best part, you don't even need millions of followers to make this work. Just a small, highly loyal audience is totally enough to change your financial trajectory forever. The reality is, people today trust people, not faceless corporate logos. When you share what you know, your brand works for you 24/7, pulling in opportunities while you're literally fast asleep.
And that leads us directly to the ultimate multiplier. Almost all millionaires eventually start a business for one simple, profound reason: leverage. Leverage just means detaching your time from your money. It's a system or a business, maybe a digital marketing agency or an e-commerce brand, that can grow without you having to trade your personal hours for an hourly wage. Look, when you're the only one working, you hit a ceiling pretty fast. But when you have a system generating income around the clock, that ceiling completely shatters. Leverage is the fundamental mechanic that actually creates exponential wealth.
Finally, we arrive at phase 4, the long game. This last phase is all about the endurance and the sheer mental consistency required to actually carry this entire blueprint across the finish line. The golden rule here is pretty simple. Never stop learning. If you stop learning, you become obsolete. I mean, the world is changing at warp speed right now with the explosive rise of AI and all this new tech. To stay ahead, you have to constantly upgrade your own mental software. Carve out specific time every single week to read books, take courses, and just absorb educational content from people who are 10 steps ahead of you. Because guess what? Knowledge compounds over time in the exact same way your money does.
Which brings us to a step that practically everyone ignores, even though it's the real secret to wealth. It takes years. Your only goal should be showing up every single day and hunting for marginal gains. Think of it like atomic habits. Improving by just 1% a day might not feel like much in the moment, but it compounds into this massive, undeniable transformation over the course of a year. You just have to repeat, repeat, repeat.
And here is a profound truth that completely separates the dreamers from the actual builders. Consistency beats motivation, every single time. People quit way too early because they expect these massive, life-altering results in like a month. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings fade, always. But consistency, that's a discipline. Showing up on the boring days, the hard days, the days when you genuinely do not feel like it, that is what actually gets you to $1 million. If you just stick to those daily actions, eventually your success becomes completely unavoidable.
So let's tie all of this together and summarize the core takeaway from today's explainer. Following these 10 steps gives you the ultimate, proven framework to achieve financial freedom. As we've seen, becoming a millionaire, it is never about luck. It's certainly not an accident. It's a deliberately built system. It requires intense discipline to master high-value skills, the crazy patience to let compounding do its thing, and the relentless daily action to actually see it through. Which leaves us with one final, essential thought. The question isn't whether you can become a millionaire. I mean, the blueprint is right here in front of you. The real question is, will you stay consistent long enough to actually become one? Think back over the phases we just covered. Which specific step are you going to take action on today?